Tata Curvv is back in the news for two very special reasons. The first is that it's this year's automotive mascot at the 2025 Indian Premier League. And the second is that Tata's come out with a special edition called the Curvv Dark Edition. And we have something special for you. Today we have with us Mr. Mohan Savarkar, Chief Product Officer and Vice President at Tata Motors, to tell us not just about the Tata Curvv Dark Edition, but how the Tata Curvv's been performing since its launch in September 2024. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Nice meeting you, Venkat.
Nice meeting you, sir.
Welcome to Tata Motors.
Thank you. We're starting our chat by getting Savarkar, sir, to tell us three things about the Tata Curvv Dark Edition, sir.
Sure. Welcome, Venkat. So, this is a Dark Edition, which has been a very popular variant for many of our models. So, what comes with this is definitely the dark skin color, but a lot of design elements in the car are also in dark shades.
Okay.
In addition to this car gets dual zone AC, which means the driver and co-driver can set temperatures that are more suited for their needs.
Okay.
As when there's a family traveling, it will always be that the two people need different things.
Yep.
In addition to that, you have sun blinds on the rear passenger doors,
Okay,
which will make sure that you can travel in comfort even during sunny days.
Okay. All right.
So the most in-demand variant these days recently has been our GDI. So with the gasoline direct injection engine, both the manual and the DCT versions have seen a lot of strong pull. And we see that this is where this product is now going to perform as the best performing SUV in the market.
So, and in terms of your variant hierarchy, you've got a demand upper, lower.
Yeah. So in India, surprisingly, you'll see that most of the demand comes at the top end.
Okay.
And other variants are comparatively less.
We now start first with what prompted you to get a DCT for the diesel, and what has been the challenges in getting that into the market?
Sure. So your question is in two parts.
Yes.
The GDI engine and there's the...
So we'll start with the DCT diesel and then move on to the GDI.
So when we wanted to make a powertrain for this car, which is to be the 4.3 meter car, so we had to make sure that the engine is worthy of this segment, and then the automatic transmission is also worthy of this segment. Starting with the engine, so we made sure that we are selecting a correct turbocharger to go with this. Then we worked on the combustion aspects of the engine so that the engine out emissions are the least possible. While working on this, we made sure that we hit the highest possible torque and power that's possible with the 1.5 liter engine, and it's the highest in India today. Once we did this, then we started meeting it with the right automatic transmission. So by doing things on the engine, we have made sure that the engine by itself is extremely responsive and it can meet the torque and power characteristics of a segment leading car that we have now. Going to the automatic, so we could have chosen many automatics. So out of that, we have chosen DCT because it's the most responsive. It gives the sportiest possible drive to the driver. And looking at that, we have made sure that the characteristics of the DCT also step up in this direction. So to do this, we have to make sure that the DCT is based on principles that allow fastest possible shifts. It also allows the best possible head nod situation or the smoothness in drive. It gives you a best possible matching with respect to engine to give you the highest fuel efficiency for a diesel engine automatic in this category, which is today 23 kilometers per liter. It is also, by the way, higher than the manual variant. Normally, there is a feeling that automatics means less fuel efficiency than manuals. We have proven otherwise. Then we went for making sure that the NVH and refinement in the car is up there. So to do that, between the engine and the transmission, we have used something called a DMF or a dual mass flywheel that dampens a lot of vibrations that go between the engine and the transmission otherwise. Then we have worked on the NVH of the engine through the mounts, through several things that we have put inside the engine, in the transmission, to make sure that as a unit, when performing in the car, it gives you a very, very silent ride. So all this put together has meant that the combination of the diesel engine and the DCT have come up as very good and excellent for a car of this size.
And like you said, the more in demand your GDI turbo petrol. Why a GDI turbo petrol when you already had a responsive, nice engine? That's the 1.2 turbo petrol with the Nexon. It would have probably, you could have had a little bit of advantage in costing. And what is the difference between the two engines?
So by the way, this car does carry the GDI as well as the TC versions.
Okay.
So we're leaving it to customers to choose what suits their interests and what
Why
suits
does
their driver needs. Yeah. So as usual, we have provided a very large powertrain spread. There are two gasoline engines, a 1.2 TC, a 1.2 GDI, a diesel, and a EV. So based on what a consumer wants, they can choose between all those. Coming back to your question on GDI, well, gasoline direct injection engines, as you know, will make sure that you're able to get the best power and torque or energy conversion from a given literage of the engine. So basic changes that happen here is in a multi-point fuel injection engine, which is the 1.2 TC, you normally have fuel being injected into the intake manifold. In case of a GDI, the fuel is injected directly into the combustion chamber.
Okay, yeah.
And this, by the way, we have chosen a 350 bar compressor to go with this, which is once again the highest available in India today. Okay, so this has made sure that we are able to pressurize the fuel to an extent which allows atomization of fuel in the combustion chamber that provides a very good air fuel mix ratio and also air fuel mix so that when combustion happens, it happens very smoothly and we are able to convert maximum possible fuel energy into mechanical energy.
Sir, and the ADAS learnings that we have got in India are quite unique given our traffic scenario. Would these be applicable to your other markets where you sell, the Tata cars? Is it something that you are thinking of?
So to put it in other words, see the India case is a superset. All other countries may be a subset of what we are doing in India. So anything that we do in India is normally valid around the world. So there may be some specific objects in a given country that you may have to tune for, but that's not a big deal at all. It can be managed quite easily.
So, and the ADAS for this, for not just this year, Tata family as a whole, tuned, developed in India, refined in India entirely.
Yes,
so it's entirely an Indian-made ADAS effort. Okay, that's.
So, for example, when we started on the ADAS journey, so there weren't many people who had made ADAS for India. So we had to start on our own, make sure that our ADAS systems also keep on learning as we undergo various tests and keep on adding more and more conditions for the ADAS to meet. For example, on Indian roads, you could find very funny things. I mean, you could have animals on the road, which is okay. But for example, if there is a two-wheeler in front of you with three people sitting on it, the last person doesn't have a footrest. So their feet are normally dangling.
Dangling, yeah.
So for the car to know that this person is not moving by themselves, but is sitting on a two-wheeler is a big deal. So we have managed to do that too. So there's such, let's say, very typical things in India that you need to get used to. You not only have cyclists on cycle, but you also have cyclists off cycle. You could have bullock carts, you could have many other things which are not normally otherwise seen around the world. So an ADAS made for India is very easily transportable to any other geography.
With our learnings that we have got from India.
Yes, please.
And that is leading me to my next question, sir. How does Tata plan to scale ADAS adoption across its product portfolio, given a rising consumer demand? We're talking below the curve, maybe above the curve, so it's a given, but below the curve.
Yeah. So like in all technologies, there will be a gestation period. There will be a period by which this technology will slowly come down the value chain. It will happen in India also. So we are getting ready for it, but I can't share with you what will happen. But this is a consumer trend that is very normal to happen. and we are also getting ready for it.
So, but is there demand for ADAS down the train, or it's once you offer it? Like I had been told by certain parts of this industry that when you show a consumer something and then they see the value of it, then they want it. Is it a learning that Tata got at some point?
Yeah. So in other words, there is a latent demand that people don't know they need something. But once you show something is possible, once you show that it's available, then there is a good likelihood that people take to it, and then the demand keeps rising. For example, sunroof. That was something that came into India. No one thought that in a hot country like India, people would need sunroof. But in some of our cars, it is 90% plus. So that kind of shows it's not easy to predict Indian market. You just need to be very, very alive to what's happening and keep on reacting very fast.
So can you tell us something about the 5-star B and cap rating and the safety features for this car?
Sure. So like in all our cars, Tata has maintained that we need to provide safe transportation for people. It continued into this car also. And at the launch of this car, we made sure that the car meets all the requirements for not only GNCAP but also BNCAP. And this car has undergone the BNCAP test. It has also got its 5 stars. But there's a lot of things that happen underneath to make sure that the car becomes a 5 star. For example, the car structure itself has to be very strong. So to that end, we have to make sure that any crash impulse does not lead to the collapse of the passenger compartment. Rather, all the forces travel away from the occupants in various directions so that the whole energy is absorbed by the car and nothing happens to the occupant. But that is only the structural safety and the very basic of what a good car should be. Beyond that, it needs 6 airbags. It needs crash performance that is symmetric, meaning that, these days on Indian roads, you have dividers in the middle. So accident against oncoming traffic has reduced. But what has therefore gone up is accidents against stationary vehicles or things that are standing on the road. So to make sure that our car is safe in that, the crash performance of this car is equal on both the co-driver side and the driver side. So many such things go into making sure that the car becomes a very safe product for people to drive in.
So, and you have the highest number of 5-star NCAP products.
Yeah.
Has it tipped the scales in your favor? Are you seeing an advantage? Are those questions that your buyers are asking you?
Yeah. So we see that slowly and surely, the Indian consumer has started appreciating that the car needs to be safe. And that has led to a lot more belief in Tata cars being the safest products on the road. And it has seen, therefore, that many more people prefer to buy Tata cars over many other cars. So the Atlas basically stands for Adaptive, Tech Forward, Lifestyle Platform. And like the words mentioned, it is becoming the most advanced platform that Tata Motors has brought so far. By that, we mean many things. Firstly, that the load path for the crash pulse have been made in such a way that the load always travels away from the occupants. Then we have followed something called the bulkhead concept, by which at 3 places in the car, at the engine house, at the B pillar, and at the C pillar, there are rings around the car that make sure that the car is extremely rigid, and the longitudinal members that carry the crash pulse and the transverse bulkheads are joined together very strongly. So each of these joints has been made so strong that it provides the best possible torsional stiffness and good performance in case the car ever rolls over. Okay. In addition to this, then we have made sure that the platform has very strong elements where things like the suspension and the powertrain are connected to the platform. So each of those pods has been made extremely stiff, and in spring terminology, it is maybe 10 times stronger than anything else that you can see, which makes sure that the impulses from the road don't travel inside the car. Impulses from the suspension and the powertrain are also isolated so that the cabin remains very silent. Okay. In addition to this, of course, there is an electrical architecture, there's a cloud, There is the infotainment software platform that goes along with this. There are the powertrains that go along with this. There is a capability that this platform has the best possible approach, departure, and ramp over angles, which are by and large at least two segments better than this car for each of this, and this can be verified very easily. In addition to this, we have made sure that the car platform is made in such a way that should the need arise, it can be converted into a all-wheel drive also. Okay, so everything, all of this is provided for in the car.
Is it on the cards? Is there demand? Are your consumers asking for it?
Yeah. So right now, Indian consumers going for 4x4 is something between 2 and 3%. So today it's not on the cards, but we will watch the space. And if there's a need for it, definitely the platform is very capable and it can be done.
So, and this will become the platform across your table. Is that in the pipeline?
Yeah. So once we create a platform, we would of course like to make sure that we use it as many places as possible. And you will see this happening with the Atlas platform also. So it can do many body styles. It can do many lengths, shorter and longer. Okay, it can do many powertrains, including EV, as we have seen already with the Curvv. So it's kind of making ourselves ready in many directions for the future.
So there you have it, an exhaustive look into the Tata Curvv, the Atlas platform, as well as some updates from Tata that are in the pipeline. Do you think we've missed anything? Do you want Sir to answer some more questions? Do let us know in the comment section below. And also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the CarWale YouTube channel. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Venkat. Nice meeting you.
Bye-bye.
You.
Take care.